Good morning. It's Monday. It's a little bit early. So let's do a screen share and see where we're at with the course. And let's open up the page. Connect. Here it is. Okay, let's see where we're at with the modules. As you can tell, I'm surrounded by brilliant grandchildren art. Okay. Week 8, net tutor, assignments, peer review. Looks good. Week 9 is coming. This is now week 9. So we'll have the essay 5 proposal. And essay 5 is where you're looking at a very specific, let's open it up and take a look at it just so we can be clear on what it is. So you're looking at the evaluation of one of the main arguments or thesis in 1984. As with most works of fiction, most literature that's work that has sustained more than a couple of decades being on the shelf. And in this case, 1984 has been around for coming up on 90 years or so. So there's many elements to the novel. And you can certainly switch off if you want to when you get into essay 6. You could be looking at one of the themes, which would be language manipulation, knowledge manipulation, gender identity, gender roles, a storyline, maybe the kind of rhetorical devices that Orwell's using to communicate his story. Could look at the example of what kind of symbols are used. Symbolism is used in the novel. So you look at one specific thing. Your essay, is not, it's only 1,500 words. It's what, 5-6 pages long. So you can't look at everything. So if you're looking at one general topic, let's say love, you may want to look at a subset of that, a very small an expression of love. It could be something that Winston does that expresses his love or his desire for love or his need for love. If you're looking at publishing or communication or the art of writing, think about Joan Didion's, keeping a notebook. You could reference the notebook, the journal that's in 1984, and how that is an example of whatever your analysis is of that kind of symbol, that kind of argument that writing is key to how we survive as a species, as a human being. Anyway, so that's this essay 5. So you got a while to take a look at it. It's not due till the 16th, I think. And again, think about the rhetorical context of how you're writing it. Think about your age, your gender, your ethnic, national identity, that sort of rhetorical context as a student, as an adult, as a parent. That's sort of your rhetorical context. And then sort of do that Venn diagram thing where you look at your rhetorical context and George Orwell's rhetorical context when he wrote it. That's sort of this part up here of the proposal. And then you have your proposal questions below. And be as specific as you can. The more details you have in answering these 5 questions in your proposal, the more it's going to help you focus what your essay is going to be about and how you're going to examine it. So that's the proposal. Let's go back to the rest of week 9. We have some Q&A. Very simple questions, very simple answer. I'm just trying to give you an assignment that will give you a bank of information about the novel that you can draw from when you're writing your essay. So these questions are not so much for a big, expansive response. I just want you to be aware of key points in these chapters. The symbol tracker, again, identifying one symbol in each chapter and get a quote that connects to that symbol and what character is using that symbol, how it connects to the bigger theme. And there's no wrong answers here. I'm trying to give you an assignment. I'm giving you an assignment that is going to create a bank of information that you can draw from when you're writing your essay. Then the rhetorical precedes for the chapters. Again, it's a 4-sentence model. The writer's reference, online discussion board, and then the weekly check-in. And with that in mind, I'm going to go over here to this tab and I'll stop share and reshare because some students have said when I toggle between screens, it gets lost. Okay, so you just finished your peer review. I'm doing a peer review also. This one, a publisher contacted me and it's an educational review. It's called, this is what it's called. It's called Collective Voices Making Change, a literature review of Black youth activism in the United States. And the publisher is Educational Review. Here's a link to the tab that opens up and I'll show you here in a second. So it's kind of like your net tutor in a way where the author of this is submitting it to this journal, and then the journal then contacted um, scholars in this field to get their feedback on this article. And then you have comments at the editor. Let's see here. What else? I strongly encourage you to elaborate on your review in the space provided. This is sort of notes for you as a college student doing your own peer review. So elaborate on your reviews for your classmates for essay 5 and essay 6. Your specific comments will offer valuable feedback to improve future work. It is essential that you click the save button. This is sort of instructions for me. And then here's my ID and so forth. It's going to expire soon, by the way, I already opened it. So here's the tab here. I'll stop share and reshare again. Because one student said that when I do that, sometimes when I toggle between screens, it doesn't pop up. So here's the article. This one happens to be 49 pages long. Here's sort of how they organize the peer review. You've got the Q&A on this side, and then more information here. You can also attach, if you want to do a peer review in a Word document or Google, and then attach it here. You can do that as well. And then you submit the review. Let's see if I can open up this a bit more. Fit to width. Now let's see if I can, maybe I can print it. And instead of printing it I'll make a PDF of it. Let's go back here. Oh. Title. Back here. I'll print it. I don't know if I can have quotation marks when I save it. So we have to take those out. Oh, there's a colon. Okay. Let's take a look at stop share, share a new screen. Download. Hmm. Okay, so it's not there. Here it is. I can't see it. Okay, so I'll go back to the page. I was trying to give you a sense of what it looks like. Um, okay, make this larger. Okay, maybe I can save it there and then open it up here. Ah, there you go. Great. So we stop share, reshare again. Okay, so here's how it's set up for those who want to go into graduate school. They'll have like a cover page, and then they'll have it's organized differently. This one is 49 pages long. Your essays are about 5, 6 pages long, so it's a little different. They'll have an abstract that sort of describes, summarizes what this article is about, and they'll have an introduction because you can tell by looking at this citation that this is APA format because you have the author's name, last name, and the date of publication. MLA uses the page number that is referencing, and APA references the date of publication and the author's last name. APA also doesn't indent. MLA indents, so to speak. What else? APA will have a footnote. MLA usually doesn't have footnotes. That's some sort of notation on the bottom of the page. And Chicago does this. Chicago and APA are very similar. MLA does not have footnotes, and MLA uses the page number that references where that information is that's being referenced. What's another difference? But you can tell if you make this a little bit larger. What is similar between MLA and APA is that in academic writing, you have multiple references within a paragraph. So your essay assignments requires 2 citations, 2 quotes in each paragraph. You can tell by looking at this, just looking at the numbers, right? The date of publication, you got 16 here, you got another one here, you have 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 another one here. Okay, so you have what, 5 or 6 references in the first opening paragraph. I want you to get used to doing the same kind of thing in your essays for this course. Even though your essays are only 5, 6 pages long, I want you to be able to have at least 2 in-text citations in each paragraph. You can certainly use more. And as far as large quotes, don't do that. They're called block quotes. It takes up too much space in these short essays. So just a couple of words. Let's take a look at the argument, the thesis statement. You have Black activism. Let's see. Black activism. Activists have consistently fought for equality, justice, and recognition of Black humanity in the face of systematic oppression. Many more recently, high school students organized a March for Our Lives. Okay, now this essay is 49 pages long. So the thesis statement is going to be the introduction, but it may not be in the first paragraph and probably won't because there's a lot of context, a lot of background information that needs to be established before we can see what the argument is. Okay, more activism here, more activism there. That's sort of the theme of this essay about activism, Black activism. Okay. Okay, undoubtedly, Luth. Okay, more information. More information. Okay, there's a however. these transition words like however, yet, although, move from sort of a general to a more specific point. And let's see if that's what they're doing here. Kind of, right? Because there's a legal case that is setting precedents for the First Amendment free speech rights, including student protests and the expression of critical ideas. Okay. More information. More information. Okay. Black activism has faced and still faces challenges in getting knowledge. Okay, a little more specific towards the argument. Okay. So words, terms that are authoritative or directive, like you will or you should, or look at, it indicates that they're getting close to the argument, the opinion part of the thesis statement. So you got to shift the dial. Here's the argument: to shift the dial on the research and possibly, let's see if I can highlight this. Okay, to shift the dial on research and possibly promote or prompt schools to facilitate Black youth activism. A review of the existing literature in Black youth activism is crucial. Okay, and now they're going to go in to look at Black youth activism existing literature, like this article here that I'm looking at, that we're looking at, other articles like this, other publications that examines this topic, which is Black youth activism. So this review, this article, this 49-page essay, this article, this chapter is going to look at existing publication about Black youth activism. And the reason is because that's crucial, going back to some of this other points to focus on what is critical about this topic. APA is a little different format than MLA for the thesis statement, but you get a sense of what academics do. And this course is designed to help you sort of focus on what academic writing is. So that concludes my lecture for Monday. I think it's the 7th. Is it the 7th or 8th? Anyway, I'll sign off here. Thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me by email. I'll respond within a few hours, if not by the next day. And I thank you so much for your time. Take care. Bye.